I keep looking over my shoulder because I can just hear the cows coming up behind me. My God. Today we're in the Waikato in the North Island of New Zealand. This place is incredibly rich in agriculture and a very big dairy industry around here.
We are travelling by camper van from the top of the North Island of New Zealand all the way down to Bluff in the South Island to share with you New Zealand's best food. Aotearoa New Zealand has a rich food culture that revolves around the land and the fresh food it provides. In this massive New Zealand series, we're travelling the length of Aotearoa to take you into the heart of our country's food culture. We'll go behind the scenes of New Zealand's favourite restaurants, share with you the small producers and family-run businesses that create some of New Zealand's best food, and together we'll fish, gather and cook New Zealand's unique food. This video kicks off in the Waikato, in the upper part of Te Ika a Maui, the North Island. It's a region rich in agriculture and has the highest number of dairy farms in New Zealand. We take you onto an organic farm to meet a raw milk herd and learn why this unique method of farming creates such phenomenal milk. Join us at the farm gate where we grab a bottle of milk from the farm's vending machines before we head to a bakery with a special history for a classic Kiwi lunch. You don't want to miss this series. Hit subscribe and get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat.
The Waikato is dairy country, so we thought we had to bring you to a dairy farm to really show you what this region is like. Now we've come to a place called Alexander Organics, and they sell raw organic milk here, actually in this shop, from milk vending machines. So that's pretty cool. Right at the farm gate you can drive in, fill up your glass bottles and grab some raw organic milk. And we've just met the two farmers, Saya and Alan, who own the farm, and they're going to take us for a bit of a tour of the farm and also introduce us to their herd.
So we've made our way down into the farm and we're wandering down the race at the moment, and this right here is the raw milk herd. So this is the herd that milks for the shop. So the raw milk that you can get from the vending machines comes completely from these cows, and it's been fantastic learning about how this is farmed, this piece of land, because it's a fully organic farm, and the way they use the natural plants that are here, they plant different plants, so the cows can essentially self-medicate. So they have a lot of different grasses available to the cow, so if the cow feels that its body needs something, it can eat what it needs. And I love learning about this organic farming. It's something that I and both of us are very much into. I used to work in an organic supermarket actually. In my day job, I was a buyer for that supermarket. So organics was very much a part of my life before we started this YouTube channel. And it's really neat being right here on a farm and being amongst it. And I'm leading the cows at the moment. So we're leading them down to a new bit of pasture. So they've got some nice fresh pasture. And it's so neat being so close. We're so lucky to get this really in-depth look at a farm here in the Waikato. So this region is just so well known for its dairy, famous all over the world in fact for the quality of dairy coming out of here, but this fully organic and raw milk selling farm, what a neat place to be. I keep looking over my shoulder because I can just hear the cows coming up behind me.
Being here in the fields with the herd is really magical. It's almost meditative, just listening to them munch on the grass, and they are having such a good time. Like, you can really feel the enjoyment. We were just talking to Sai and Alan about the diversity in the pasture. So he was saying that if you grab a bunch and you pull it, and you hear that sound that comes up with pulling that bunch of grass, you can tell that it's really mineral rich. The diversity in the pasture with the different plants and grasses means that the cow can eat what it feels it needs. So with traditional conventional farms, they'll usually just have one or two types of grass, but with organic farming there's a whole range of different foods that the cows can eat, like Thomas was talking about, to suit their own bodies. And they're just really loving it. You can tell they're just heads down, going for it. So we've just been out in the pasture with the girls. We've been learning all about this amazing milk they produce, and now it is time to buy some of the milk. So the milk that is dispensed from these vending machines, so milk vending machines, is fresh every day. So obviously those girls get milked every day, and then the milk comes straight into these vending machines. So it's a really neat setup. You can buy your glass bottles in different sizes, and then you slip your money in and your milk comes out. So with raw milk in New Zealand, you can only buy it at the farm gate or have it home delivered. So these guys have this shop just set up right outside the farm, and people just swing in, grab their milk from the milk vending machine. Okay, so I got my 1 litre glass bottle, and now it's time to grab the milk. So instructions, insert cash. So pop my $5 in, so I'm getting a litre, so it's $3. Doesn't like my fiver. There we go. Line up your clean bottle with the milk nozzle. And then select appropriate volume of milk for your bottle size, 1 litre.
And there it is, 1 litre dispensed from the machine. I think this is absolutely brilliant. That you can self-service with milk straight from the machine like that. Oh, look at that. Now it's totally sterilizing itself. So the practices here are very heavy for sterilization, etc. Because this is raw milk, so it's unpasteurized. So there's a lot of effort goes into the cleanliness of everything, and that's really cool to see as well. So I think what I'm going to have to do is take a swig of this straight from the bottle. My God. Oh, it's so sweet. Oh, it's beautiful. That is, without a doubt, the freshest milk I've ever drunk. That was milk this morning. Incredibly fresh, and the taste is, it's very deep. It's got a lot of layers of flavor. It's the creaminess, the sweetness. Oh man, that is so good. We're gonna make something of this, I think, for breakfast tomorrow, so I better not drink it all, but that is one hell of a bottle of milk. We left last night just as it was getting dark, so we made our way to a camping site. It's now the next morning. We are by a lake, but there is a serious fog rolled in overnight, so it's just starting to break a little bit, but at the moment we're just in a blanket of white on a beautiful cold, crisp, still morning. So we thought, let's make porridge with that milk. So use the raw milk to make a big hearty steamy bowl of porridge in this really cold weather. I think it'll go perfectly for that. All right, let's get in the van, get making some porridge. I've just grabbed the milk out of the fridge and it is all separated, so we've got cream on top. It is quite hard to show on camera, but there is a line just sort of by my finger, and above that is all the thicker, creamier milk. First thing we're going to do, put it in our coffees, and then it's going to go in the porridge. Okay, so we've got rolled oats from the South Island, we've got some rhubarb, and we've got Alexander Organic raw milk. So full milk with the porridge into the pot, top it with some brown sugar and rhubarb. Super simple. The porridge bubbled up beautifully, really thick and creamy, and I'm just going to pop a dollop of rhubarb on the top and then sprinkle some brown sugar. This is going to be epic! We thought, since we're staying on this beautiful lake, let's eat breakfast right on the water. This porridge looks unreal, so nice and creamy, brown sugar all over it, stewed up some rhubarb. Look at the beautiful pinkness in that rhubarb. And we've got more of the raw milk, so we're just gonna douse that onto the porridge. Oh yes. And let's go straight in there, bit of everything. Oh, that's good porridge. Oh, so good making that with that milk. I love porridge as a winter breakfast, and I couldn't think of anything better than standing on this lake with this porridge, but using that milk. So being at the farm yesterday afternoon, standing in the paddock with the cows that milk came from, and a very small herd makes up their raw milk herd. So every single cow that was around us and we were filming is exactly the cows that are making this milk every day. So it was milked yesterday, this morning we're eating it with our porridge, standing here right on this lake. We're not that far from the farm at this point, so we're still right in the heart of the Waikato. Unreal, I mean, far out. That is so good, and it's blooming amazing in the coffee too. What a way to start the day. I mean, I couldn't think of anything better. And we're now heading down the road to do some more filming, so I'm going to enjoy this porridge here on the lake, sun coming out, and then we'll go get some more food down the road.
We've travelled about 20 minutes from the campsite to a town called Kihikihi, and we've come here to visit a bakery. Now, New Zealand is a nation of bakers. Every town will have at least a couple of bakeries. They're very, very popular because we're lovers of pies and we love sweet treats. But this particular bakery is very well known in the Waikato. They are a 5-generation family bakers. The great-great-grandmother, I believe, is reputed to be the first female baker in New Zealand. So let's get in there. This is a classic New Zealand bakery. There are a lot of pies on offer, and Kiwis are big eaters of savoury pies. We used to be a British colony, so I think that is where the pie making and pie eating comes from, that tradition. They have all sorts of ones, so mince pies, steak and cheese pies, classic, also mince and cheese pies, and then over here some gourmet pies. And then in terms of the sweet treats, classic Kiwi offerings, lamingtons, lolly cake, and some really good looking cream donuts. So we've got a mince and cheese pie, classic Kiwi favourite, and then I'm a sucker for a cream donut. Look at that, stuffed full of cream.
Baked goods collected, so they've got a couple of little tables there, but generally with bakeries here in New Zealand, it's takeaway food. So we've got the pie and then that long donut. Gosh, this is a very busy road. I might talk to the camera and then cross. The long donut, we're gonna go find a spot to chow down for a bit of a morning tea snack.
We found a stunning spot down by the lake to enjoy our pie and long donut. Pies are a national obsession in New Zealand, and they're one of the foods that I miss most when we're not here back home. Mince and cheese is my default flavour. It's my favourite filling. Beef mince cooked in a thick gravy and then cheese encased in flaky pastry. So I'm just gonna load it up with tomato sauce because I am a tomato sauce fiend. Slip that lid back on. Okay, let's get a taste of this thing. Mainly pastry in that mouthful. Beautiful pastry. Very flaky, buttery, golden. Let's get another bite. It's really good. It's a really sort of wet gravy, but a ton of mince in there. And then you've just got this thick, oozy layer of cheese over the top. And with the tomato sauce, I just can't eat a pie without a tomato sauce. I have to have it. I feel like the tomato sauce cuts through the richness of the pie. This is good.
And now it is time for the long cream donut. I absolutely love these. These are another staple of New Zealand bakeries. Oh, we've had a little bit of a rollover in transit, so we lost too much cream. No, we haven't lost too much. So you've got classic donut, but done in a long form, and then they slice through it, absolutely fill it, like piped cream in there, so fresh cream piped right through. We've got a line of raspberry jam. We've lost a little bit of that in transit, and then covered in icing sugar. So a classic donut filled with cream, and this is where things get nice and messy. So I can fully expect to have cream probably from about my hairline to my chin. Oh, yes. Taste of my childhood. Did quite well as well, not covered in cream. That is so good. So, as we've seen in this video, New Zealand's so well known for its dairy, so the cream is fresh and delicious. Donut's very fluffy, and then covered in the powdered sugar, so nicely covered in that icing sugar. Oh, so good. Like the taste of New Zealand. A mince and cheese pie, followed by a long cream donut. And that was a very neat bakery, so a lot of history. The bakers in that family have been baking for 5 generations, so heaps of history, and churning out great products. They're a very good cream donut.